Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of Formula Wednesday. Last Wednesday I had shown two formulas or functions that I had used, that is hashtags and downloads. So today I'll not discuss only two formulas, but I'll also show you some of the most important formulas that we need to use in almost every app. First is if, second is navigate, third is set, and the last bonus one is location. So without wasting any more time, let us quickly go and see how this works. So here we have two screens, that is screen 1 and screen 2. In my screen 1, let me first go ahead with my if conditions. So let me just quickly do that. I have taken a text input. Let me just name this text input as T1 for me to for it to become easier for me. And let me just give the input as Apple. Let me increase the font here to 30 so that it's clear to everyone. Yes. Now I will use the if function. So why do we use if and why is it so important? If we use if in almost every paras because it makes the base of the logic that we'll be using. So let's see how what is the format or what is the syntax to it and how we can use it. So that is, I have selected the property as on select. That is, whenever I'm selecting this text box, I want it to do a particular thing. So what do I want it to do? That is, let me write if, and let me expand the formula box. If what? Yeah, if what? If my T1 is my text input box, if my T1 dot text, that is, if the text in my text box okay, there sometimes this happens. On select, okay, let me just close it again and see. Okay, so if let me just expand it back. So if the text here is Apple, okay, so here I have given the logic, that is, if my text in the text box is Apple, then what would I want it to do? Then I would want it to give me a score of suppose 25 or 50, which I have also shown you in my miscellaneous Friday quiz how we can use it. So I would want it to set score. Here score acts as a variable. Score to what? Score to 25. I have closed it and it works. Now to see if it works, I will bring in another text input, and here I will write as score, and to bring in score from the variable score, I'll be using the ampersand. Yeah. So let's see how this works. So if this is Apple, then it gives me a score of 25. If this is not Apple, then it should give me a score of 0. So how do I do that? Here I'll simply write set score comma 0, and then I'll close the bracket. Okay. So here if text equals to, suppose if I write that if text equals to banana, then and then let's see how this is working. See, here it is setting the score to 0 because here my text is Apple, and what I had written here is, and what I wrote here was, if this is banana, then set my score to 25, else set my score to 0. Now we saw that here how we are using the if statement. Next, let me show you a very important one, which is a navigate function. For that I need a button, and let me change the name of the button to next. Suppose this is very important because most of our Power Apps, it deals with one or more pages, and this is where we need to use this button function. And then when clicking on this button, I would want it to take me to my second screen, which is screen 2. Screen 2, comma, you would like to give it a particular maybe screen transition dot cover, the particular format to it, and then you can close the bracket. So let's also see how this works. When I'm clicking on next, it takes me to my second blank screen. Next is you can also use this navigate function not only with your button, but you can also use it with an icon. Suppose there is this, let me just show you. Suppose there is this right or left or back or next button. This is the icon, and also I'll want it to take me back to my, suppose okay, let me do it here. Let me just set this button here to my second screen, and then I'll want it to navigate to my first screen. This navigate function is very important. This is why I am showing two examples instead of one, just to show that you can also use it in icons, screen and comma screen transition dot cover maybe, and yeah. So let me just do it again, and when I'm moving back, it's taking back to my first screen. It's done. And the last function which I would show is location. So let me take text input, and then let me just copy paste another one. Here the text input, it can give us or it can return us latitude and longitude. So let me just do it. Here I'll use the function location, and what do I want it to bring up? I suppose I want it to bring up the latitude, so I'll bring up latitude. It can bring up latitude, longitude and altitude. Since the altitude won't be quite approximate or won't be quite fine, so I'm just showing you the example of latitude and longitude. It is using the location of my PC, and then it is bringing up this location. It's not exactly the same, but it's near about the same. And here let me just select longitude. So you can see it is giving me a latitude and longitude. Now where can we use this function? We can use it in a lot of useful ways. That is, if we want our Power App to have maps, we can import maps like Google Maps by using the APIs, and then we can connect it. Power App has also come up with the geospatial or the geolocation where we can use this. So this comes quite handy. So today we have, let's go through and see what are the functions that we have gone through. First is if. If is the main part of the logic. Next is set, and here to show what a score is, I have shown it here in this text box. Third is the location, and fourth is navigate. So I hope that you have enjoyed this, because these are the few functions which comes quite handy and will be needing to form the base of our, or maybe the beginner base to create Power.